YouTubers, I'm glad you're all here. Thank you very much for joining me. Boy, they're really getting slammed up there in New York. Here's a Twitter post that says 4 feet of snow in Blaisdell, New York. They're asking everyone to stay off the roads. Here's an image from Hamburg. Seems likely it's over 3 feet. And people are worried, they're concerned about the amount of snow that might accumulate on roofs. Yeah, depending on how heavy that snow is, how wet that snow is, yeah, you could have roofs collapsing. In this video, yeah, look at the amount of snow. And yeah, if you're healthy enough, anyone under the age of 50, you may have to get out there and shovel the snow off your roofs. I say under the age of 50 because they say that people over the age of 50 risk having heart attacks shoveling snow. A video of a snow plow, they're saying it might get so bad that the plows won't be able to get out. Yeah, look at the amount of snow that's on these roofs. Here in South Dakota, we're used to it. There's been times where it's been 55 below zero with the wind chill, so I thought I would share some of my ideas, things that we did to keep warm. Living in older buildings, older apartments, many of them do not have double insulated windows. So what you can do is put plastic on the windows, bubble wrap on the windows, or even towels or blankets or quilts hung up on the windows, depending on the size of the windows. Air circulating in your home is what draws the heat from your house, the cold from the windows, into the rest of the house. Make sure if you have ceiling fans to have them so they are on clockwise rotation to pull the heat down from the ceilings into the room. Often the air inside your room is dry, or inside your house is drier than what it is outside. Condensation for windows that are not insulated, you'll get, some beautiful images of frost. Right now it's 68 degrees in my house. Humidity is only at 33%, whereas outside it's 58%. So if you boil a pan of water, it will put moisture into your home and make it feel like it's much warmer than what it is. Boiling water will heat the room more slowly, this is on Google search, than simply turning on the gas stove. That said, there is ways in which boiling water may feel like it heats up the room faster. It increases the humidity in the room. Increasing humidity inhibits evaporation of sweat and makes the room feel hotter even when it isn't, and that really works. Another thing you can do is if you're doing laundry, drying clothes, take the exhaust vent off your dryer and turn it so it comes back into the house, so the moisture from the drying clothes goes into your home, and it makes that room much warmer. Here's another image from Hamburg, New York, of the snow piled up against the house. This here is one of the stadiums for, I guess it's the Buffalo Bills. Won't be a game there. Look at the seats. Another image that was sent into Twitter. They're getting the lake effect from the snow, the cold air coming off of Lake Erie. Some of the cars that were stuck. If for some dumb reason you have to go out, make sure you have things in the car to keep you warm. Warm boots, a warm coat, gloves, hats, layers of clothing that you can put on if you get stuck. Bring a thermos of something hot to drink. I personally have known people who only go out wearing a light jacket because they think they're just going to make a quick trip to the store and end up the car breaks down. And they have to depend on someone to come and rescue them because they did not bother bringing anything warm just in case. Another thing that you could do, if you haven't already done it, is get blackout curtains. These curtains are real heavy, well insulated. They'll black out the sunlight so people can sleep during the day, those that work at night. But also, it can be an extra layer to keep the cold air from the windows coming in. You can also use, like I said, plastic sheeting, bubble wrap. Yeah, I don't throw away old blankets or old quilts. In my apartment, the one wall facing, let's see, it would be north. It actually gets ice on the wall. It's an older building built in 1908. It is insulated, but probably not up to the standards that they have now. So I have placed plastic on the wall and also blankets on the wall to prevent the cold from coming in to my apartment. If you have either electric or gas stove, if you still have power, yeah, boil water. That moisture going into the air will make the room feel like it's a lot warmer. The old-time hot water bottles always work good. If you sleep with them or if you just have them tucked up underneath your sweater or your coat to keep you warm. Another trick that I've done is filled long socks full of either beans, dried beans, or rice. And I'll fill them up, tie the end, stick them in the microwave for a few minutes, and yeah, the beans and the rice retain the heat in the socks for a long time, and you can stick those in the bed with you or under your clothing. When I was a kid, we used to have radiators on the floor, and we would take a blanket, my brother and I, and put the blanket over our head, and yeah, my mother always knew when we did that because it prevented the heat from going into the rest of the house. But under that self-made tent above the radiator where the furnace blew out the hot air, yeah, you definitely got warm. It's been so cold here in the winter, like I said, 55 below zero with the wind chill. Yeah, we would go to bed in layers, wearing layers upon layers. And like I said, if you drink something warm, yeah, that'll warm your inside up too. Don't drink alcohol. Alcohol will lower your body's ability to stay warm. Yeah, I know sometimes you don't want to keep all that bubble wrap that you get in packages that are sent to you, but those little pockets of air work really good if you put them up on the windows to make an extra layer of insulation. Sleeping together as a family also helps you keep warm. Yeah, I can remember everyone going to bed in the same bed, wearing our hats, our gloves, our scarves, like we were ready to go outside, but the body heat of everybody all cuddled up together in bed, yeah, it really works. I would get claustrophobic being in the middle. I would prefer being on the outside. And when you got little kids, they often put their knees and feet into the middle of your back. Shredded paper also works as a good insulation. I don't know how many of you remember when they used to put shredded paper pumped into the sides of homes that were older and didn't have insulation. Compared to fiberglass insulation, paper insulation, you actually need 1/4 more paper insulation compared to fiberglass. But that's, you've heard the old trick of the homeless people wadding up balls of newspaper and sticking it in their clothes. Well, yeah, newspaper works as a good insulator. There was a reason in the olden days people slept with canopy beds. Yeah, these were heavy curtains that would wrap around the bed to hold in the heat when people slept. More pillows, the better. Yeah, pillows tucked up around you, under your feet, around your feet, your back, the top of your head also work as good installations. I made my own canopy bed with chains and eye hooks and PVC pipe hooked together, hanging down for my own canopy bed. Doing a Google search for blankets on the windows. Here someone put little cloth hooks on the quilt and hung them. That way too they can be rolled up and let down during the day if you want to let some sunlight in, or drop down to keep the heat in your house. This idea also works good for separating rooms where you can't close off a room and just go into one room of your house to keep warm, across doorways where you don't have a way to close it off. Yeah, put up blankets across those doorways. Here's another image of a small quilt. You could be a large towel too that you have, so you can roll it up and attach it. Looks like they just use string or twine to let the light in during the day, then drop it down at night so it keeps warm. I also used the leftover double stick tape that came with the plastic that you put the plastic over the window and with the double stick tape, and then use a hairdryer to tighten it up. I didn't bother doing that, but I did have enough double stick tape where I was able to take the curtain that was over the window, and I put the tape against the window sill and pushed the curtain against it so that there wouldn't be any drafts coming in from the side or the bottom. If you have a heavy enough curtain rod, yeah, you can just droop the heavy blanket or towels or quilts over the curtain rod, but it'd have to be a heavier curtain rod. If you have any of those emergency thermal blankets, the aluminum shiny ones, you could tape those up over your windows. Or if you have like a cold wall, that I do, you could put that on the wall also. Here's another image of, looks like a large blanket, possibly used clothespins maybe to hang them up. You can also set up a tent in your home. Have a smaller shelter to sleep in. I have a blow-up air mattress that I could put inside the tent and sleep on. I would suggest putting either a rug or some blankets underneath the mattress so you don't get the cold coming up from the floor. This tent here looks like it probably could hold 3 people. And the more people you are able to get into your shelter, be it a tent set up in one of your rooms or multiple people in a bed, yeah, you can always absorb the heat from those other people's bodies. I'm not affiliated in any way with Amazon, but I really enjoy using them. Sleeping bags are also really good. Here's one that shows where several people are all tucked together in one sleeping bag. You can also sleep with your pets. Some people don't like to do that, but have you ever noticed when you crawled into bed where the cat or dog was sleeping, how it's warm? Yeah, so if you don't have someone else to cuddle up with, well, cuddle up with your dog or cats, or plural. More the better. So those are some of my simple suggestions. I'm not going to tell you about what kind of heaters you have. I have an oil-filled heater, type of a radiator that I use. It's very energy efficient, and it will hook up to my solar batteries and run off of that. Yeah, I always suggested that people have backup power just in case the power goes out. Those candle inventions that they show where you put multiple candles underneath the potted plant, that actually only puts out enough heat for about 3 feet distance. And I really don't recommend people using candles and things like that to warm their house. There's such a big danger. Do not use barbecues. Yeah, I worry about people having carbon monoxide poisoning and things like that. Just put on lots of layers. Sleep with lots of layers. So if you have any other suggestions, please put it down below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay safe, and I will talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.